Aside from the romance that Bridgerton is all about, viewers have also gotten to see friendships develop and also get broken in the series. And the first look into season 3 shows how Penelope and Eloise's rift could go on. The friendship between Eloise and Penelope has continued to brighten every season of Bridgerton ever released. But towards the end of season 2, these two had a significant fallout. And it's not just something minor that can be overlooked quickly for peace to reign. So the sparkles of light this friendship has afforded viewers all these times will be absent in Bridgerton 3 or earlier in the season. Before now, the real identity of Lady Whistledown has been an important and much bigger deal for Eloise to discover. And also, Penelope was the only friend that she could have shared her curiosities and worries with. But to find out her best friend had been the person that she'd been wanting to find out all this while was a very wild experience for Eloise. Usually, Eloise is quite charming and doesn't take things to heart, but now Penelope has hurt her, and many fans can agree that it's hard to forgive. Also, no one knows what Eloise is capable of when deeply hurt like this, and she might deal with this pain by exposing Penelope and her real identity. But that could further worsen their friendship since there's little hope that it's redeemable. Nicola Coughlan, who plays Penelope, still believes reconciliation is possible for the two friends in season 3. According to her, a sincere apology would solve it all. In Nicola's words, she said, "They have to reconcile because it would break my heart if they didn't." Also, I think in deep, lifelong friendships, there are moments like that when you just fight, and you've just got to learn to grow a little bit. But I think Penelope has got some apologising to do. Claudia Jessie, who plays Eloise in the show, has also made light of the situation, as she mentioned her understanding of what Penelope did to Eloise. The actress excused Penelope's actions for being uptight because she had no experience with an open-minded family as Eloise did. Claudia said, "Penelope has quite a hard time, and obviously it will be tough for her to tell me. It's the light lies that snowball, so I think that's what's happening. It's just going out of control, so I love that scene so much." The fight gets even more complicated. Some of the show's fans have started to separate Eloise and Penelope by picking sides without giving any chance or hope for their reconciliation in season 3. And also season 3 is going to get a lot more tricky because of the love relationship that's going to come up between Penelope and Colin. Now, it's still not fully known to Eloise, but Penelope has liked Colin for so long, and Penelope has always liked the idea of finding a love partner and becoming a wife, which is contrary to what Eloise wants. In Eloise's view, Penelope is just like her, who's also a feminist and hates everything society tries to make women do before finding a perfect match. But instead, Penelope has never been that way, and has only silently followed and agreed with whatever Eloise says because she wants to be that supportive friend. And with how the focus of romance in Bridgerton 3 will fall on Penelope and Colin, Eloise will finally find out that Penelope has always had a crush on her brother, and to tell her that's just going to be another lie that would further stain their friendship. Eloise will keep wondering how much Penelope has kept away from her from the start, and might never get to trust her again. Also, Penelope would be too busy trying to play out the perfect romance with Colin, which will keep her further away from trying to work on her friendship with Eloise. With all this drama and differences that might be happening in season 3, Eloise will further drift away to find a new friend that she can trust. And there are hints that Eloise isn't going to see this friend in one of those big balls or social gatherings, and that's true because Eloise hates such gatherings. But instead, she's likely to go and find a friend, most unusually in the Bridgerton household. If you remember in season 2, a possible connection has already been made about this, and that's between Kate and Eloise. Eloise asked Kate how she managed to remain a single woman for so long, especially in an era that got looked down upon and deemed unacceptable, and they were able to bond over this discussion.
Can I ask you something? Was it your choice you never married?
If there's anything Eloise enjoys more, it's finding a friend who shares her mindset on how women get represented in society. And honestly, Kate is the perfect replacement for Penelope for Eloise, pending until they finally reconcile. Like Eloise, Kate is a strong-willed and confident woman, and also rebellious in trying to define herself and not accept what society thinks of her. And with Kate, Eloise would experience a mature friendship for the first time that will allow her to see beyond most of her opinions. Eloise thinks a woman shouldn't be defined by who she marries, and that makes her despise the idea of marriage. But in season 3, she will see how Kate can combine being strong to also being a wife. And of course, this will draw Eloise close to Kate, and their friendship will be a mature one that could finally help in preparing Eloise for love when the time comes, and also help in finding her voice just the way she always wanted. Kate and her husband Anthony will be appearing in season 3 as newlywed, and they will show more of their romance to the viewers. But Bridgerton 3 would have to focus on a new couple, so there would be limited actions for for them. For a young couple who has experienced how love and acceptance play out in society before finally settling, they would be in the show to guide the way for the younger ones. And as the new lady of the Bridgerton household, Kate is going to be in the same physical space as Eloise and would be able to help her. With their similarities, they would both connect, which might not necessarily help with the reconciliation between Penelope and Eloise. Eloise has always felt like an outsider in society, even before what happened between her and Penelope. Now that she feels even more betrayed by her best friend of all people, she feels even more left out, even from her own family. But connecting with Kate would be a relief to her. At least that would mean finding someone in the community's upper class who understands her for once. However, Eloise doesn't mind who she connects with as long as the person sees from her point of view and can have healthy arguments about the rights between men and women. Eloise sincerely seeks this connection of like-mindedness, and she doesn't even mind making friends with people from a lower class, like the women's rights group and Theo. The only reason her relationship with Theo and the people in the lower community didn't thrive is still because of the big thing that separates them all, which is class. With how things work in Bridgerton, this difference in status between Theo and Eloise could cause a big scandal that could taint her for life. So having Kate as a new friend in season 3 would be the best choice for Eloise. Kate isn't just a wife to Anthony. She's proven to be selfless and supportive, despite what she might be going through. In season 2, Kate tried hard to cover up her feelings for Anthony to protect her sister Edwina, because that was more important to her than anything else. While figuring out how to keep putting Edwina's interest at heart without hurting her, Kate kept meeting up with Anthony in secret. Considering her feelings, Kate didn't give up on her sister and even planned to return home, so that her sister could stay married and have a bright future, till her feelings overcame everything. With how Kate protected her sister, she can also, in turn, be a sister and a friend to Eloise till she figures out more about who she is, and comes to terms with forgiving her friend. However, it's unlikely that Kate will come into Eloise's life to serve as a complete replacement for Penelope. Of course, Kate would be an essential friend for Eloise in Bridgerton 3, but it still doesn't compare to the years of friendship that Penelope has shared with Eloise. They both grew up together and knew the history of almost everyone in high society, which always makes them have a lot to catch up on. And even though it doesn't look possible now, Penelope and Eloise are still going to reconcile, but that won't happen earlier in season 3. Eloise has always admired Lady Whistledown, and even if she still feels betrayed to learn that Penelope is the same as Lady Whistledown, there would be a part of her that still can't wait to catch up with Penelope and hear all about how she did those things, and even admire Penelope's intellect the more. And while the friendship she might have with Kate in Bridgerton 3 looks like Penelope's replacement, Kate will only help her realise her own mistakes too, so she can make peace with Penelope. Also, Kate had a falling out with her sister Edwina after her secret with Anthony got exposed, and she knew that it was one of the worst things that could happen to anyone. And for this not to occur with Eloise, Kate might encourage her to make peace with Penelope. In the books, Eloise wasn't even outraged with Penelope when she heard that she was the same as Lady Whistledown, and they only used the opportunity to tease each other about who had the biggest secret. So reconciliation is coming in season 3, even though it won't happen so soon or with ease. So what do you think will happen to this friendship in season 3? Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.